Hi everyone, this is Christina from Card Creations and More by C, and today we're going to be making a simple video. I wanted to set my timer. We're going to be making a simple card, and let's start the timer. Okay. What I'm doing is making a video of the card that's very similar to one that I made my dad for his birthday, which I forgot to take a picture of. I'm using completely different colors, but the main focus of our card is going to be this cut, which I made on my Gypsy from the Gypsy Wanderings font, and I took each letter and I welded it together. And as you can see, it looks like it was made to be that way. I mean, the letters just flow together perfectly. It did as well for the one that I made for my uncle, but when I tried to make one that said brother, I think you would have to keep the B separated from the rest of the word for it to look right. So I'm going to experiment with that one some more. And then I also went ahead and made the shadow, and I did that by using the same letters on the shadow feature, and then I also had to weld them together. If you don't know how to do that and you have a Gypsy and you don't know how to weld letters and shadows and create your own phrase or word like this, then let me know. Maybe I can do a video on it. There's also, the way that I learned was watching creationswithchristina.com. She has an entire Gypsy series, and when I bought my Gypsy, I watched, I think it was 8 or 9 videos in her series, which are right on her website. And I think I knew how to use everything on the Gypsy within 2 hours. So she has a great tutorial. One of them is about welding these letters together. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and get started. My card base is an A2 size card. It's a piece of white Michael's Recollections cardstock. I don't usually do my card bases as white, but today I wanted to. I'm going to do my inside mat first, and I took a piece of this blue metallic paper. This is from the Die Cuts with a View Jewels and Brights cardstock set that coordinates with the dots, stripes, and plaids, which is where this patterned paper came from. And it's got, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it has glitter, little glitter to it. So we're going to go ahead, and I wanted this lined up on top of my inside base mat so that it would be you could see a little bit of the pattern as well. And I'm gonna go ahead and trim off the edges, make that flush, and then we're gonna go ahead and put some white cardstock right over top of it. I just changed my ATG, so that's done with. I'm just gonna do 3 lengths of it, and then we're going to line that up on top of here and try to make it so that we can see. Actually, I'm going to look at it from this angle. It's easier for me to see it on the... Okay. See where I need to line this up. So that's going to be going on the inside of our card. So I'm going to go ahead and put some ATG. I think I'm going to put it all the way around, since it's kind of heavy. And this is going to make the inside of the card nice and sturdy, just like the outside. So, and I cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around. So I'll get that lined up well, and we'll lay it down. Okay, so now the inside of our card has that little bit of color on it. Now for the front of our card, we're going to be, the main front is going to be this blue metallic paper. I wanted to keep a very simple design for this, and we're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch gap, and I cut this a little bit longer than it needs to be. And this is also, all of this paper is from those Die Cuts with a View. This is the green glitter paper, bright green. I love it. And we're going to go ahead and line that up about 1/4 of an inch down on our metallic paper. I love this metallic paper. This is the brightest, prettiest blue really ever. So we're going to go ahead and trim off the excess, and I'm just going to get rid of that. And then I'm going to be putting a piece of our pattern paper down here, leaving about the same amount of room between at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and ATG on that. Okay, so I'm going to leave, like I said, about 1/4 inch from the bottom. Leave that space. Good. Then we'll trim off our excess piece. I did that so this way it wouldn't end up being just a tad bit too short. So this is what we have so far. And we're going to go ahead and adhere that to the front of our card. And it's pretty heavy, so I'm going to definitely put ATG on all 4 sides instead of just 1 or 2 lengths of it. Okay, and I find it easier to work with it like this. I try to get it perfectly aligned. And you definitely, when you're using ATG, you hope that you can get it perfectly aligned on your first try, since it's so sticky. So there's our card base, and it's looking kind of nice. I like it. I don't usually use a lot of white, but in this case I wanted to. Oh, I just realized I put that on upside down. Shoot. Oh boy. Okay, see? This kind of stuff only happens when I'm making videos. So we do have to try to lift this because I put my paper on upside down. Oh my goodness. Can't believe this. So I'm using my old Creative Memories multi-purpose tool. Hopefully I can lift this. I really wanted the words up against the... Boy, this doesn't feel like it's lifting very well, but we'll give it a try. I don't want to have to start over with new paper. I know what that would look like on top of there. No, I just don't like that at all. Shoot! I can't believe this happened. I'm ripping my paper. Oh boy. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't like that. What we're going to have to do is start over with a new card base. Oh well. Sorry about this, ladies. I don't know if I should start my video over or just leave it. But this is what's happened. I goofed it up. This is so funny. I just can't even believe this. This never happens to me. Okay, we're just going to trim off this and pretty much leave it connected to that white paper. This is crazy. I can't get over this. Okay, I think we're so far connected on that white paper it's not even worth it. Okay, real quick, we're going to have to make a new card base. Let me move this out of the way. And I'm going to get a new piece of paper. I'm so sorry about this. I can't believe that I did this. Okay. But it's just not going to look the same how I had in mind if I had it upside down. So I'm just going to go ahead and score this at 4 1/4 on my Martha Stewart scoreboard. Okay, get that out of the way. Alright, I think we'll go ahead and adhere the front first. I'm just going to start over with new ATG. Trying to make sure I get really well. Okay, now I want... See, I think how I goofed it up was I like to work on it upside down like this. And so, okay, now we have it where I wanted it. So there's a lesson how permanent ATG is. Sometimes, depending what you've adhered it to, you can lift it, and other times you can't. So you just have to try to be careful when you're placing it. And I've watched lots of videos that, just different ones where people put something on and realize it's crooked, and then you kind of feel bad because you know they're going to have a really hard time getting it up to fix it. So But in my case, upside down was even worse because I was trying to take the whole thing off. Okay, there we go. Now we have a good card base, and this was what I wanted, was the glitter paper at the top. So next we're going to work on our letters. And what I did was I cut the dad with the blue metallic paper 4 times because I want to be able to have it be 4 layers thick on top of the shadow. I really like, I really want it to really stand out, and that's the best way, I think, to make sure that it really stands out well. And I'm just using my little Quilled Creations glue bottle and some Elmer's Craft Bond glue because it's very dainty and I can get nice little pieces of glue, well, pretty much just a continuous running of glue. And I'm just going to try to eyeball this before I start setting it down so that I don't have to lift it, and try to get it nicely centered onto my shadow, and then just kind of press it in a little bit. And that's looking really pretty. I love that. Very shiny. Awesome. Okay, now for the next layers, I'm just going to go ahead and dab my glue right onto my blue that's already there instead of onto the piece that I'm going to connect. And just sort of run it around. Okay. And then I'm just going to try to line this up as perfectly as I can right from the one end. And get it perfectly on top of it, and then pressing it in so the glue can start. This glue also sets pretty quick. I mean, it really does, especially when you're using it for quilling to glue the ends of your paper. It really does set in quickly, so that's part of the reason why I like using it on things like this. The Zig does as well. Some glues don't, but I really love this very fine point that it has. And I don't know if you can really see this glue, but see, it's very fine, so it doesn't really leak out the sides at all. And then I'm going to go ahead and lay this down again. And what happens, I like to use, I suppose that you could try to get away with doing like 3 layers of white paper and then your one metallic layer just at the top, but I think when if you're looking at it from the side, or if you get it just the tiniest bit not on track right, then it's going to be prettier to look at it with all of them cut from the same exact paper. So that's why I do that. And we have one more. I don't know if you can start to see it, but it is giving it some nice dimension. And push my little glue cap back down tight so we don't end up with a big burst of glue, because that would just be too much for this video. Okay, so that was my little timer. So I try to time it for 13 minutes to see if I can keep my videos to at least 15 to 20 minutes tops, because I don't really edit them much, so, well, pretty much at all. So this way I don't go into longer than 20 minutes, but I try to keep it to the 15-minute window. Okay, this one's lifting a little bit. I have to press it harder. Okay, just make sure you keep pressing it till it's really down tight. But you really want to try not to have any adhesive on your hands, because it will stick to that metallic paper, and then it will start to look dull and not shiny. So, okay, we have it done. Now, look how pretty that is, and I don't know if you can really see it, but it is raised up nicely. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put some pop dots, and we're going to use some of my homemade ones, and just try to do this as quickly as I can. I learned how to make these, I've said it before in a couple of videos, from cricketology.blogspot.com, and she has a really great tutorial on these. You get foam from Michael's, self-adhesive foam that already has adhesive on one side, and then you go ahead and use that and run it through your Xyron in these 1 1/4 inch strips, and then you can cut them to whatever sizes that you need, and it works great. So sometimes when I'm making videos, I try to already have my pop dots on my image ready to go, but today I couldn't because I had to show you how to adhere those layers. And I'm just kind of fitting them where I can. I just kind of want this whole dad to be raised up on the card. And so we'll go like that. And hopefully I'm going to make a few videos for you guys this weekend that I can post throughout the week on my blog. And almost done. This is coming along nicely. I think it's going to be really sharp. And the nice thing is it's very simple, so I think that it could be used for a Father's Day card or even a birthday card for a dad, either way. Let's see, we'll put that one there. And I think I'll cut a very smaller piece for that other part. Sorry, this part takes a while. It's a little hard for me to get the adhesive off of the one side of it. Oops. A little bit wrong spot. So I've gotten lots of comments from people this week asking me to continue making videos, and people told me that they don't mind that I don't do a lot of editing. They just fast forward parts if I'm taking too long, so that's good. So I will try my best. Okay, I have it all done, some pop dots on the back, and we're going to put it right up there. And I'm just going to try to center it in that area. Just going to sort of set it first. Oh yes, I think that looks really, really good. And then press it in nice. This is glittery paper, so some adhesives have trouble sticking, but that's really stuck well. And there we have it, a very simple card for a dad. Look how vibrant that is. Especially, I definitely think it looked better against the plain green glitter paper rather than the pattern if I hadn't fixed it. And I think that's very sharp and very classy for a dad. And I don't know, you can really see the dimension when you use the multiple layers. Sometimes it really changes the look of it, and it looks really cool. So thank you for watching. See you next time.